Hey everybody, what's going on? We are here with a timeless reading. Welcome to the channel. My name is Gabriella. For anybody new tuning in, welcome. First card that we have out is Four of Wands. Four of Wands is a happy time, but you may be struggling a little bit. I'm seeing Nine of Wands on the bottom of the deck. You could be going through a little bit of a challenge with someone. It looks like a decision needs to be made. Can be like a relationship choice. This can be things that you're doing too that are connected with your stability as well. We're gonna get further and see. Can also be something that you're trying to see, something that you're trying to realize. Yes, it can be a decision too, as mentioned before. Home situation, financial situation, career situation, relationship situation. Can be all of these things. It's like the pillars of your life, the important things. It can be like anything connected with that. It does, though, look like this is something that would impact you personally, and your livelihood could be impacted by this. Your home could be impacted by this. Your finances could be impacted by this. I think that you're trying to make a decision about sort of what you're trying to make concrete here, because there could be something like up for debate or a decision about something that would impact you in a big way. This feels like heavy stuff. Like it holds a lot of weight for you within your life, and it would impact you. I'm seeing the Magician. I'm seeing Ten of Pentacles. So this is you trying to figure out, like, what are your bigger goals here, and also what are your intentions, and also what really holds meaning to you and importance to you. And it can also be like, do I hold on to this? Do I not hold on to this? Do I make it on my own? Do I make it myself? You know, like these sorts of things. Do I want to be alone doing this? Do I want to be with this other person doing this? Like all of these questions that may be coming up. Some of you, you're trying to figure out like whether or not you're going to end a marriage or like a relationship, something like that. Or like what potentially even would be ending. So it can be like, are we going to call it quits for real? But there's also fear about some stuff too I'm seeing coming up. So you could be like, I don't want to live with this person anymore, but then, like, what if I can't afford housing? It can be like, I don't want to be in this relationship anymore, but then, like, I don't want to be lonely. It can be that type of stuff. But it can also be, too, like I don't want the same thing to repeat itself again as well. Because some of you, this may be a relationship that you were in already, and there was potentially an ending, or things that felt painful that occurred within it, and you could be deciding like, are we gonna do this again, or are we gonna like close this and keep it like that? That can be the thing too. And there could have even been a thought of like, I feel a potential here, like you either already went through a close with this person, or you thought that it was gonna end, something like that. But I'm seeing like a decision actually still not being made, where this could be something that's being like reopened now at this point. But I'm seeing something that it's like, have we still not made up our mind yet? You could be feeling like you're all out of options maybe too. Or maybe just like none of them are like, yeah, that's definitely the right one. can be that sort of thing. Wait, so what I'm seeing with the energy, I feel like I've used this example before. Do you guys know I think it's a Disney movie, maybe, when the little fairies, it's Sleeping Beauty, the little fairy, I think, they're making the cake, and one of them's like, I want it to be blue, and the other one's like, I want it to be pink, and they're like hitting it with their wands, and like it's turning blue, and then it's turning pink, and then like all of this stuff is like happening with the cake. I'm seeing that sort of happen with something that's being manifested. It's like, do we close it? Do we not close it? Do we close it? Do we not close it? And it's like, are we on the edge of this thing being over, or is it really just getting started now? And it's like that, back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and it just feels like a big mess right now. Which isn't a bad thing. It just means that something's being worked out, but you're like, what's gonna make me happy? I'm seeing you be at a point where you're still like figuring out what that's gonna be for you. And you may not know. You're like, am I gonna be happier closing this out? Or do I keep this open because it is my pursuit of happiness? What do I do here? I'm seeing temperance. So temperance says you don't know yet, and you don't need to know yet. It's not time. You're still figuring it out, but temperance means that this is actively being worked on. It's not like you're like, oh well, guess I'm just like not gonna address this, or I'm gonna avoid this because it's too hard. Temperance means that this is actively being like worked on. There's just like not a conclusion yet. I'm hearing temporary. Maybe something is like in a temporary space currently. Some of you too, you're like feeling out of touch. You're feeling out of touch with your happiness. So you're having a hard time feeling around. I am also seeing other things like looking really good for you, and you'd think that you would look at that and be feeling happy, but I think like in light of everything else that's going on, you may not be feeling like that. Like there may still be some stuff that's weighing on you where you're like, if I wasn't dealing with this stuff, I think I would feel more connected right now. But because of what I'm going through, I'm just not really feeling the vibe, even though you know like good stuff is happening around you, or like preferable things are happening around you. It seems to me like you're at a point where it feels important for you to be thinking about what's going on now, to be thinking about your future, to be making choices that are focused and centered. This can be also like doing the more difficult thing now because it's going to serve a purpose later. It's like that sort of thing, you know, like trying to be wise, trying to be deliberate, being disciplined with the choices that you're making and how you're behaving, you know, that type of stuff where it's like sound judgment, you know, like tying into that, the sage aspect of your energy, thinking about what's going on now and what's happening within your life and like the bigger sense of things and like how you want your life to look, all of that. So you're in this spot, right, where that's sort of how you're trying to approach this. Because you're approaching this as the emperor, you're sort of needing to like wear a bunch of different hats in order to deal with the stuff that you're dealing with right now. It can be a lot that you're taking on as well. What I'm seeing is that you're sitting there, right, in this position where you're like, I almost feel a little bit stuck where you're like, I need some sort of breakthrough, something like that. I'm seeing you're about to get information. This is going to feel relevant, important. It's going to impact your livelihood in some way, potentially. Some of you are moving. You're investing in yourself also, regardless of whatever else is going on. Okay, let's see. So we have a relationship in question, sort of. I'm seeing Ten of Swords, which can be, when I say relationship, I mean like something that you're a part of. So this can be like a company that you've been working for, or it can be, it's like something that you tend to regularly that is a big thing within your life, that's like a regular thing within your life. Usually this is like a relationship, but it can really be anything. It can be like, I've been working for this company for 8.5 years, like that sort of thing. It's like an establishment of some sort. And what's interesting too is that also starting off in the Four of Wands, like it's usually a point where it's like things generally feel happy, or they generally feel stable, or it's like we feel good about what's going on, or it hasn't been easy and now we're at this spot. And I'm also seeing too the Ten of Swords here, so it looks as well like you may be trying to like find grounding in some way or establish stability in your life while going through the closing out of a cycle that would feel like maybe alleviating that this thing is coming to an end. And having the Emperor show up, I think you're really trying to handle this in the most like grounded, mature way possible, where you're thinking about what's going on now, and also like really trying to zoom out and look at your life and see how this is impacting that too. Because the Emperor is like, when we're called to show up within our lives, showing up as the Emperor, there are so many different like faces that you can wear. And when I say that, I mean you sort of know what energy is appropriate to be channeling in each given moment in order to sort of accomplish what you need to accomplish, because the Emperor is the amalgamation of all of the different kings. And so it's like, when I need to say something, I'm saying something. When I need to take action, I'm ready to do that. When I need to feel this out and sort of like still myself and check in with my mental health, I'm doing that too. When I need to be like reserved and not like be taking action quickly and take a more conservative approach, I'm channeling then the King of Pentacles. It's like, so you're sort of flip-flopping all between these depending on what's happening and sort of how you need to show up. So I'm seeing that be important. Having Emperor and having Two of Swords here, this means that you are going to take a very well-rounded approach to a decision that needs to be made about something that looks like a relationship or a living situation, something like, or a commitment, okay? I'm seeing there be conflict that you're feeling, but it looks like there's going to be a breakthrough because you're about to get, for some of you, I'm hearing personal information. There's going to be valuable information that you receive that it seems like it's going to help you break through a wall that maybe you were feeling you couldn't break through, or just this thing that kept going in a circle where you were like, how do we sort of pierce this in some way? Like, how do we change the root? Or like even untangle something. So it seems like all you have to do right now is just sort of, I don't know, like, are you gonna wait until this comes through? It feels like you know that you can, like, I'm seeing you sort of standing up and being present in what's going on and just like observing everything that's happening, but you can't really like make a move. But I'm seeing there's going to be like very pertinent information that you get it's then going to help things move forward. I'm seeing it be very, very important, and I'm seeing it come directly to you. So you don't have to go looking for this. You don't have to anything like that. I'm seeing it's going to find you, this information. It can happen like through a conversation too. It's something that's going to be really important to what's going on. It's like significant specifically to this thing that you're going through right now. I'm hearing something about situational information. It's going to help you decide something big. I think that you're also too at a spot where you're sort of working with these two elements. It's like the things that you have within your life that feel matured. So maybe things that have like grown to fruition for you within your life, while also tending to this part of yourself that is like, well, my life doesn't end here, it doesn't stop here. I still want to like create things or manifest things or like bring things into my life. Like I want to keep certain things stable, and then I also want to be like doing these new things or these other things over here. So I'm seeing that sort of be a mixture of what's going on as well. But there can be a part of you that maybe because of clinging to certain things, there's a part of you that may not feel super inspired to be doing that right now. Like there are certain things that you'd be able to do as the magician that you could like pull into your life, but there may be a part of you that's like, I don't feel motivated to be doing that. Let me see if there's any more insight that I can get about this Four of Cups. Because magician can also be where we're being called to sort of step up and do something and be like clear about our intention in order to make something happen. But Four of Cups can be like, I'm not really feeling that right now. I'd rather not. But then I'm seeing the Chariot. It seems like maybe just in light of everything that's happening, that's why you're feeling like this. Because usually, Four of Cups like usually comes off like a bit of a mood of, I'm feeling a little bit disengaged right now, but I'm not going to stay feeling like that. And it can feel like kind of exhausted emotionally as well. Or just like maybe you just feel tired. Some of you, there's like a cycle that you could potentially close out, but you don't want to. Some of you, you're like, I've gone through enough endings. I don't want to go through another one again. But I'm also seeing some interesting energy. It does look like maybe there's a conflict of interest or like a conflict of happiness, something. Yeah, you could feel like something that's going on is like conflicting with your pursuit of happiness, but you also feel a responsibility. I'm hearing a state of responsibility. And that can be the thing too, having the Emperor here. You're like, well, I gotta put my suit on and show up, you know? I said that I would. It can be like that. And then you're like, maybe not feeling like this is for you. That can be the vibe too. But maybe you're also like denying yourself your pursuit of happiness. That can also be what's going on as well. It's like, ooh, I'm hearing ringing in my ear, 1947. Let's look this up. This is coming through really strongly. So what I'm seeing is that for some of you, this is about, it says the message relates to the field of creativity and hobbies, and says that very soon you will have an opportunity to make money on your hobby. That's just one of the interpretations. Know that these things are like kind of subjective. If you ever are looking up angel numbers and you're like, well, which one is it? You just go with the one that you feel like is resonating with you, the one you like the most. So yeah, what I'm seeing is that there is something that you could be closing out, but I'm seeing you feel conflicted about doing that. And some of you, it's because you feel like there's a level of responsibility that you have here to show up in a particular way. Like there can be like a duty or a sense of commitment or whatever, because like, you know, the emperor is like, I said that I'd do the job, I'm gonna do the job. And so you can sort of feel like you need to show up in that way, and you're also like trying to be mature here and like think about your future and whatnot. And so maybe this is like that version of you, but also to have 10 of Cups and to have 4 of Cups, this can be you sort of like denying your pursuit of happiness a little bit, you could feel. So it's like there's ending something potentially, but then like does that conflict with your pursuit of happiness, and like trying to figure that out. It just feels like everything is like a big ball right now, and it's hard to know, because it feels like if I end this, am I ending my pursuit of happiness? If I don't end it, is that aligned with my pursuit of happiness? Like, which one is it? And I'm seeing you just be at a spot where you're like, nothing is really coming up in a clear way. There's like a lack of registering here, it seems. But maybe that also is just reflective of the complexity of this situation too. What I'm seeing is that things are going to work out. We end with the Chariot here, so I'm seeing like whatever the issues are that you're facing, you are going to figure them out. So it will be resolved. It just like may not be time for things to be completely clear just yet. It's like you still have to sort of watch what's going on and keep your eyes open. Some of you, there's like a string of conversations that you're having that may be helping you, or like information that you're getting that's sort of helping you make moves. But this can be something that comes in increments, like the way that I'm seeing this. Or it can be like reflecting that you're doing something like that, where it's like you get like wisdom or information that's valuable to you, then you're like, how do I apply this to the direct situation that I'm in? It can be like messages from your guides as well. And then I'm seeing that sort of be how you're strategizing moving through this. I'm hearing temporary again. I'm also hearing temperance too, so maybe just a reminder for you to be patient as you move through it, because it is a process. I'm hearing the word grant. That can be a name too. I'm looking at Mercury, Cancer, Aries. Okay, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I am sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.